Hey guys, what is up? Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone's having an amazing day because I am, as usual, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So, those that are taking advantage of these dips, those that are strategic, that are intelligent, clever, and so on, are really making the right moves as of now. But some of you are asking me this one question, which can be interpreted in certain ways. And this question is, how much turbo do I need? Right? Turbo, if you guys want me to pronounce it the right way, how much of it? Like, what should I get? What should I be buying? Now, it's quite difficult for me to answer this because it depends on a lot of things here, right? So let's go on the whiteboard and actually discuss this in a bit more detail. So how much turbo do I need? Depends on how much money you guys have, first of all, right? Because, I could say get $1 million worth of turbo, right? Because I want to see as much money going into turbo so it can pump, it can go up. I am, as an investor, interested in seeing just as much as possible in it. But at the same time, to ask you to put in $1 million or to ask you to put anything in, first of all, isn't really my business, as in I don't really know how much you guys have. And also, you got to be realistic. I could throw in $10 million or $1 million. I could say these numbers, but am I being realistic at this point? No. So ask yourself, how much do you have? So how much money do you have to invest, right? Also, another point is, how much are you expecting turbo to reach in terms of market cap, in terms of price? If we're sitting at around, let's say, 500 million market cap, okay, let's just round it up. That way it's a psychological round number. Like, do you expect it to go to 20 billion? Or, I don't know, 10 billion? Or 5 billion? Or maybe even more? Some people are saying 40 billion. So how far can it go? How far can turbo go? What can it reach? And when you look at this number as to how far it can go, you can calculate how much you're holding, and if it goes to that number, how much you're going to make. Would you be happy with that amount of money? So let's take a very sort of average number that a lot of you are putting in, $1,000, right? So if you were loading up at turbo right now at these prices, right, around 500 million market cap, and it goes to 20 billion, that's 40x, right? So if you put in $1,000, you could make $40,000. Would you be happy with $40,000? Or would you want it to go further? That means you'd probably have to load up a bit more. You'd have to maybe put in $2,000 or $5,000. So figure out, what would you be happy with? Or what would make you happy? So what would make you happy? Simple as that. Like, these are the type of questions you got to be asking yourself. It's the same question. Sorry if I'm kind of paraphrasing it, right? But like I've said, you have to answer these questions for yourself, because I have answered these questions, but for my personal, right? For my personal bag, for my personal liking, my personal opinion. Now, another point that needs to be addressed, okay, is, do you guys believe that what you have right now is not sufficient enough, or is it sufficient? Because it seems like some people are like, well, I'm happy with my bag, and then you're like, oh wait, hold on a sec, the price dropped, so I gotta get more. So then you're gonna have to figure out when you will actually be loading up, at which prices. Because you want to load up at low prices. And are you willing to load up at what low prices? Are you done loading up turbo, or are you going to be loading up even more when it's low? So when would you load up on Turbo? At which prices? Simple as that. Like, you're going to have to answer all these questions. And also, another thing that I would like to address, guys, only invest the amount you can afford to lose. Like, the biggest mistake in cryptos, and that's why you get a lot of emotional investors, is that they're putting too much money in, money that they cannot afford to lose, so they can't sleep well whenever it goes down. They become fudders, they become angry, they start blaming everything and everyone, including myself, because some of you think that I am like one of the creators of Turbo. But in reality, it's just because you have invested a sum that you are not comfortable putting in. Simple as that. If you had invested less, or at least a sum of money that you're comfortable with, that you can afford to forget about, that you can afford to lose, then you wouldn't care so much. But because you're going like sort of all in, it's going to play with your emotions. Are you strong psychologically or are you weak? So that's another thing that you need to think about. Can you, let me just type it up. So can you afford to forget about that amount? I mean, I'm not going to write down if you can afford to lose, because then people are going to be like, oh, okay, so now you're saying that you can lose Turbo. But the point that I'm just trying to make here, that you can be patient and just not think about it. Because some of you cannot come with the fact that this thing could be exploding in like next year, Q2 or Q3. So you want instant results. You want 24-hour type of results. And that's not how things work. I mean, if you get super, super lucky, maybe you could invest like the day before the altcoin season starts. But again, that's getting very, very lucky. So you got to see like the real full picture, the real stuff here. So when you look at it this way, this like if you can build up a plan and you can answer all these questions, then you can have a number in your head. And also look at it this way. So for example, can you afford to forget about that amount? Yes, no. And which amount, right? So which amount are we looking at? Now, you can write down that amount. And if they said, okay, we're going to raise that amount from your bank account, and if you are happy with it, then perhaps that is the amount that you could actually put in. And also, how much are you expecting to make? Because some people are saying, well, I mean, they have different opinions. Some are like, well, whatever it can make me, I'm happy with anything. Then, okay, if you think that way, it's not like it's a bad way to think, but it's just a different way to think. Others have like specific targets. And would you be happy if it made less than what you expected? So write down the goal of a market cap or the price. I tend to look at market caps, but you can also look at prices of Turbo. I know some of you prefer to look at 10 cents, 5 cents, that the price. It's just, for me, it's always easier to look at market caps. But either way, plan out your target. Plan out how much money do you actually have? How much can you play around with? I mean, obviously you are diversifying your portfolio. I don't think many of you are just going all into Turbo. So how much are you throwing into other cryptos? Figure out a number. What would you be comfortable? How much do you expect to make from that number? Can you forget about it? And that's it. Simple as that. And that would be the healthy number. Because for me just to sit here and be like, okay, so you've just asked me, how much Turbo do I need? Well, like I've said, I could give you any number. For me, my interest would be just to give you the biggest number possible. Because I know this thing is going to explode. And obviously you're going to make a lot of money and that's going to make you happy. But I don't want to put you under stress. Like, imagine if I told you right now, well, throw in like $10,000 and then you go out and take out a loan from the bank just to invest into Turbo. Like, I would feel very guilty and bad. So ask yourself these questions and you decide by yourself. I'm not a financial advisor here. I'm just giving you information. You make up your own mind. How much are you happy with? And we're looking at much higher prices than in the past. I mean, in the past, when it was around here, like these market caps, where it was like 200 million market cap, it was much cheaper, so you could have loaded up more. But now it's higher, so it's more expensive. So you can't load up as much. but at least you can load up at these price at something, then having to load up a turbo when it's like billions of dollars in market cap, then it's very, very expensive. Okay, and then you won't be looking at a 40x, 30, 20x. You'd be looking, at like a 5x or 3x. So my point really does change in terms of quantity when we're growing. So here, obviously, I would have said, as much as you can. Here, as much as you can. But now, it's becoming more expensive. And your pockets maybe are not so deep to fulfill massive numbers. But it's still cheap compared to what we're going to be seeing when it starts breaking out, when the altcoin season comes. So yeah, guys, I'm going to have to leave it here. All these questions, interesting stuff to think about. At the end of the day, this is the heading here. And, as usual, I kind of come up with very interesting topics to talk about Turbo, to let you know, to keep you informed. Because all of this is unscripted. I'm not reading from some teleprompter to make this video. Really, these are pure thoughts. Comes from my heart, from my knowledge. And I really care. I really do care because I have my reputation on the line. Like, if I have to choose a coin that really will do well, this is one of my top ones here. We're talking about Turbo. And I am dedicating so many videos because of the type of interest it has. So you have to understand that as well, that this has a ton of interest. The only question, can you make the most out of it before we really see some massive outbreaks? Because when we see the outbreaks, when Turbo could be like say for example, $10 billion market cap, I mean, then I can't be telling you that we could be making like crazy amount of returns. Maybe max like a 2x on it, lucky 3x. But the point here is that we're still in early stages. So do make up your mind. Do think about it. This is a great opportunity. But either way, I'm going to have to leave it here. Guys, thank you so much. I really do appreciate all the support. And I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.
Pay attention, crypto gossipators. Things are about to get interesting. Remember, not financial advice.